Yo, what's up everybody, and welcome to this special video where I will be talking about the new Ancient Legendary card leak that Shipyard just did. And I don't think a lot of people have noticed it yet, but well, let's dive a little bit deeper in what we are actually seeing and discuss it a little bit. So what are we talking about? Well, I'm talking about this banner we are currently seeing. This has been posted by Shipyard like a month ago or something, with a very awkward text. Like, what is this? What are we looking at? And this surely is an ancient. It's green. It looks a bit like Stoic Protectors, aka Anubis. And it's floating. It has a Star Tetrahedron around here and some funky UFO saucer and some toad for whatever reason. And is this Earth? I don't know, but we see a lot, and mostly it's just about all this floating ancient that's giving light or something. And well, this was already teased in 5th of December 2020, and well, I saw this and I saw this as a puzzle. I saw this and I just wanted to crack it. I started to brainstorm what would it be and what are these characters, and eventually I thought, like, most likely it is so similar and everything, it must be a font. So from that point forward I just continued. And what is this language? Well, I basically found out that it is deciphered to surrender before the mighty Sirisio. So Sirisio, weird name, right? This is also, by the way, the font if you're interested. Don't know if they're gonna use this font more often, because I already deciphered it, so they cannot really write things in secret anymore. So basically this is the alpha code beyond. That's the, well, that's the font name, that's the language of the ancients, so to speak. And well, it doesn't say much else, right? Well, with Sirisio, that's a nice starting point, because well, if we look at what's in the name there, we see Sirisio, and well, let's go on the other side. And if we use it as an anagram, we can make an Osiris of it, and it definitely looks like an Osiris. We will see that in a bit, but there's an extra eye. I don't know, it's just there. I've double checked or triple checked it just to make sure I wasn't making here a weird observation, but well, most likely Sirisio, Osiris. And why is this something that you can accept? Well, basically we also have Stoic Protectors here on the left, the one that silenced everybody. Well, before it was Stoic Protectors, it was named as Bisanu, and Bisanu is an obvious anagram of Anubis, and obviously it looks like Anubis as well. So there is an Egyptian god theme going on here. And these are most likely family or the sorts of each other. So let's continue with Osiris. Well, who is Osiris? On the left you see Osiris. It's a green deity. It also has a head. It doesn't look that good here, but you can see that it's like the blue and the yellow or the goldish. So that's similar to what you see on the art that Shipyard has made. Also, the skin is green. Well, here's the skin is green. The hands are also green. So that's very similar. And clotted in white. Well, same here. So everything seems that this is resembling Osiris a lot, or is used as inspiration. So the Egyptian god Osiris was mostly about fertility, agriculture, the afterlife, the death, the resurrection, life, and the vegetation in the ancient Egyptian religion. So there's a lot of things going on with this god. It's also a really high tier list on the deities of the Egyptian mythology. So, well, there's plenty of things to go on with all these kind of things. So what should be the ability? I combined some of it, and we basically get like two groups. We got the fertility, agriculture, and fertility also obviously is something like making babies, spawn units, something in that kind. And agriculture, buff units. Agriculture is like cultivating, growing, like crops and stuff. So they might take it to that route. So that might be on this side of the equation. On the other one we got the Afterlife, the Resurrection, the Life and Death. So, well, maybe something like a Restore, Temple of Time kind of shenanigans. They already invested time in mechanics like that, so they might do something more funky dunky with it. Like Resurrect units. That's, well, basically Restore also resurrects, only it just turns out time back. Maybe this one will do something similar with a different naming or a different nuance. I'm not sure if you want the Temple of Time and the Sirisio as the same card, so they need to do something with it. But it can also do something interesting with, like, with the fallen units, like the units that go from life to the afterlife, and they gain extra strength, or their stats get altered. Something weird with that. Like, we already see altered stats with the Temple of Focus going on, that everything gets moving forced forward. So there are things like that going on, and same goes with Ami, right? Getting back in hand with an additional strength. This might also be like units that die, give units in your hand extra strength, or maybe just buffs Sirisio a little bit stronger. There's a lot of things going on that can be happening here. So before we go really deep dive, there was another part of the image, and that is this Star Tetrahedron. Difficult to pronounce. So obviously this is like floating, it was already teased. So that is something that is very peculiar, and this is also in the art as well. It's coming back, so most likely this will be something related to the card that signals us some kind of ability. So what does it mean? The Star Tetrahedron is the energetic and geometric representation of the human body, male and female, heaven and earth. So that's the undead, life and death, resurrection, things like that. And then I just skipped some stuff. We're talking about light, we're talking about spirit, and that's like the yin and yang of the body or physical being. So it's like, yeah, the underworld, the heaven, the hell, and the world you're living in. So this definitely favors the theme of resurrection, life and death. So I'm very curious to see it going in that direction, and hopefully it will be pretty sweet. And also it is like an upside down pyramids, 2 of them. There's a lot of things you can look into this, but this is just the essence of what I wanted to share with you guys. So next, what is the rarity of this beast gonna be, or the ancient? For the first, I just look at the elders. Like the elders and the ancients are somewhat similar because it's not a unit type, it's like an addition to a unit type. So, well, for the elders we got like 6 rare, 6 epics and 1 legendary, 2 neutrals, and basically all kingdom related unit types got an elder. So that's what I mean, is like a toad and a raven and construct and stuff. So what do we have currently in the build? We got 1 common, 4 rares, those are all neutrals, 5 epics, 1 neutral and 0 legendary. So since neutrals are all rare, that means like, well, if they're gonna implement like rarity or a kingdom related in the rares, it will be a little bit weird, because then they need to make like 8, or they need to do it like the elders. So then there will be additional 4 rares, because we already have 4 kingdom related epics. But they might do something funky with the felines, for example, the pirates and the knights, because the elders don't do anything with it. There's also a relation with the low amount of commons. Seems that the ancient is also very unique and special, so there should be like higher rarity or something. So that's something like that. And what I expect is basically we are done with commons, we are done with the rares. We will get 4 additional epics. But those also might be like the 4 additional rares, just like they did with the Elders, or Paladin did with the Elders. They got inspiration from that, because it's really skewed like this, having 9 epics and 4 rares only. But I don't think you want the other kingdom or unit type related into the comments. So that's that, and there will be 2 legendaries. That's something that Brazoza said on the Discord server. So that's just a given, unless that information has already been changed. So yeah, looking at Sirisio, I do think it's gonna be a legendary, obviously, because the team is very hardcore, and I think it's gonna be an epic or even lower, a rare or something, or common. It's gonna be really underwhelming for a god that is also above standing of Anubis. So it needs to be an epic or higher. That's just my rationalization of it. So what if, like, obviously the legendaries is gonna be a neutral. Otherwise there will need to be 4 legendaries. But what if it's a rare or an epic or even a common? And then obviously I think it will be something in a kingdom. And well, if it's in the swarm, then well, the undead is already taken by martyr spongers. So the satire might be something with buffing or making babies. We see a lot, like Dreadful Keepers and Herald's Hymn. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on with giving strength, and that's something like the fertility and the agriculture might come in handy with, making copies of stuff. Or I don't know, you can go wild with the babies, right? Just use your imagination. Stormbound and making babies in one game. So the next one is Shadowfen. Well, the toad is already Plague Monarch, so it has to be a Raven. Well, Ravens are ideal for a card like this. It has Destroy, it has Drain, like draining life essence, destroying the soul. And Klaxi also kills units and then spawns new Ravens out of it. That's something like a Necromancer. Necromancer is also bringing the souls back from the death and stuff. And we even got Temple of Time, something that is also recovering mechanic that might be highly inspired for the mechanic we're gonna go with Sirisio. So the next one is the dwarves. We already got a Frostling, that's the Orgone Leechers, and for the dwarf, or for the Winter Pact I mean, and for the dwarves, just no. I don't want to see Osiris into a dwarf. It's just too awkward, and I don't think it will fit. So just no. But if it has, is it gonna be a dwarf? Most likely it's just buffing. That's what the dwarves do, buffing and running. I don't see Sirisio running anytime soon, so it must be buffing. Or something like Rock Workers creating like a temple or something. Maybe like that, because who knows, why not. So if it is Winter Pact or Ironclad, we got the Rodents already with the absorbing Varmints, so it has to be a construct. And that will basically be buffing, but also things like Rebirth, like the Phoenix and the Finite Loopers are already a team with it. And we got Temple of Space. Well, Temple of Space is a teleporter on the game board, but maybe something like, well, it's also a portal, right? Maybe it might be a portal to the underworld that you spawn crazy creatures or fallen comrades back onto the action. That's something the constructs already have been doing. And that the Temple of Space is just a product out of it. So this is gonna be it. I'm not sure what to expect. I hope it's gonna be a viable card. And a viable card also on a lower level. So that means like lower level 4 on Hero League and stuff. That you have just an ability that you can play with. And don't have the raw stats or BV ability that does damage and stuff. That doesn't scale well enough on level 4, but does on level 5 in Hero League. And hopefully also nice for all the lower leagues. So that's gonna be it. I'm really hyped for it. Hope you enjoyed this video. And I want to thank you for watching. And if you like it, give me a follow, give me a like, share, comment in the description below. And hopefully I will see you next time. Cheers.